Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to the stream. It is Thursday, April 21st, 2016, 3 p.m. here in Chicago, Central Time, 2000 hour UTC. Let me just take a second. Hey, Pretoria 1978. Let me take a second and just post on Twitter, let everyone know that we are now live. One second. We're going to go ahead and get started soon. We're going to be doing more level design today. Okay, let's see. Hey, Ultimate Haran, welcome, hello. Bucharest, that is in Romania. Often confused with Budapest in Hungary. Okay, so let's go ahead and so basically, yesterday we worked on this scene. Now, one of the things that's a bit of a problem is that this scene is actually is very, very dense, and it doesn't need to be. And the other issue is that so it's too dense, and the way it's not properly organized. So you can see that this is that. Like, this is the unit that I have it now, and it's a bit problematic because of it's not the most efficient way to divide up this level, right? So you can see this yellow piece and the blue piece right now. They're so like this yellow piece here is made up of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. When in fact there only needs to be as many pieces as there are rows. Hey, Mortalia's Grand, welcome, hello. Right, so, I don't know, what is this, like 12, 14? Right now, it only need 14, we're getting 14 times 7, and that gets multiplied as we duplicate this. So, I can get rid of all of that. It's like however many it needs. And so you can see right now what I'm doing is I'm just making it one piece instead. And then again, you can see on this row, so this is one unit, right? But that means in order to form two of the units in the blue row, that instead is having, again, that's two pieces instead of one. Hey, Captain Finn. So what I'm doing is we are going to redo this level so that it's a little more manageable in terms of what's duplicated. So actually, you know what, let's create a new object. So basically just making this more efficient. And then also the problem was that in order to, the door doesn't really stand out, so we're going to try to take into account the design of the door as we build out the rest of this level. Okay, so we've created a new object. Let's call this stepwell top and the bottom new. Now we're going to take this piece and that piece. We'll bring it into here. Whoa. Did not want to click on fraps there. Right, now let's go ahead and hit play and see what this looks like. By the way, how is everyone doing? It's Thursday, so we're past hump day, but it's not quite the weekend yet. But tomorrow is Friday, so let me pick that up and properly put it away. Trailer. Hey, Goggle Fox, what's up? Are you doing the trailer yourself? I actually quite enjoy the trailer. Oh, you're already on your weekend. I am a little bit envious. Oh no, they're trading Jimmy Butler? Dude, he's the best one. He's like, well, that sucks. Prince passed away today. I found that out while at the grocery store, which is certainly terrible news. Hey, Hearth Twist. Yeah, man. Jimmy Butler is my favorite Bulls player. So, yeah, I thought he was really he broke Michael Jordan's record. Right, 50 points. Oh no, did he break it? Or he tied it. So, yeah. I need to also make a choice. So, this is, let's check out this one. So this is what the stepwell unit is currently. So you can see the stairs are pretty thin. They're 4 units wide, and it's all pretty close together, but it's a little too dense, and I'm thinking, like, I don't need it to be hearth juiced. Hearth juiced. Okay. Oh yeah, so yeah, that's the thing with trailer is you need to get the game looking good. Right, so this is these units are pretty close together, and I think they don't need to be in order to create this effect, like the impact of the size of Hearth. Okay, Hearth Twist is that's the one I'm gonna go for, which I think is closer. So yeah, I don't think you need all of them together in order to get the impact, and so that's what. So what I've got here is the new size. Although I am kind of digging the way that these are just sort of floating. So you can see now these steps are a little bit bigger, but I think they, right? So they're a little bit wider, which means that we can have fewer units, but I think it's still going to have kind of the impact that this, because I think really it's an emotion, right? It's like when you're like looking up. Holy shit, this doesn't end. Like it's sort of. I think that's where the power is, and not. As long as we have them close together, that'll feel equally dense. And actually, just to do a quick test. Yeah, I think that's gonna have a similar impact. We'll see. Right now they're not. Let's make it all out, right? I mean, I do like the dense version, but I think what I'm saying is like once we get this to be all spread out, you're not gonna see it you're not really gonna see the difference, or that it's gonna feel, it's gonna have the same impact. Mostly because as it is, we're actually having a ton of performance issues with this one. Right, like just enabling and disabling is causing a ton of problems, causing this to slow down. Yeah, basically this is just making it a little too difficult to work with. So, but you know, so I want to make it a little bit more efficient. See what I can get away with. By the way, you know what? I'm going to get an energy drink because I'm definitely feeling a little bit of a dip in my energy level. Any luck on finding DLask 2.0? You know, I am starting now that kind of have sort of a basic version of the game working. I am starting to respond to emails. I haven't responded to everyone yet, but yeah, it's going. You know, the thing is, I want to make sure this time, like I didn't really, when I brought David on, I didn't really look. And so this time I want to sort of do a really thorough search. You know, can't remember if I've talked about it, but basically we've parted ways. Mostly it was, you know, we're still on good terms, we're still friends, and he's actually still, you know, helping out with the project here and there, right? Because he knows the code base well. You know, at the end of the day, we just had some differences in compatibility with work style. And the one thing we did was we you know, we were very open with communication throughout. So that I think that was one thing we did very well. And we were just like, yeah, I don't think this is gonna work out. But it's all good. Yeah, I've had quite a few people submit, so it is actually taking me quite a while to get back to everyone just because of the volume of applicants. This is bottom. Okay, so we've got Z, which is this unit. Right, this is good. Hey, Robber, what is up? How do you remember your username? No, no. Every time if you accidentally are logged out, you just gotta get a new one. Hey, yes, that's actually, yes, that's what, Indian stepwells, which are very cool. I remember seeing pictures of these, and as soon as I saw them, I was like, okay, what, what would it look like if they just extended out forever? By the way, there's a really fantastic film, if you guys sort of are interested in knowing where some of these inspirations come from, is called Baraka. Um, it's this trailer. It's sort of this like visual essay for film, and it. I think this is where I saw these sepals for the first time, but there's no. There are no words. There's no narrative. I suppose there is a narrative, but yeah, it's really more of a visual essay. But as soon as I saw these, I was like, okay, wonder what it would look like if they just extended forever. And this was sort of I mean, the game's mechanic just lends itself so well, and it's one of my favorite levels. It's so simple. Yeah, Baraka, and I'm actually thinking of doing. There's a Koyanitskatsky. Is that? Oh yeah, Koyanitskatsky. So this is like one idea I have for a trailer is to do something similar to this film. So Koyanitskatsky, and then there's Samsara is his other film. Yeah, it's by the same guy that made Baraka. It's sort of a sequel to it, but the one you might be thinking. So I kind of want to do.
Critics around the world have
Like, I'd love to have a trailer for Manifold Garden that references this with similar filled glass music, and just have the title open like this. Except not with the chanting, because. Anyway, that's an idea. Have I heard about Gaming for Good? No, I have not. What is that? Fukamore. That sounds like an interesting organization, though. Yeah, that's Philip Glass music. Koyaanisqatsi. Hey, Garrett Polk, what is up? Alternative to Twitch alerts, which doesn't take any transaction fees. Not only that, but the people who donate get money on GTA to buy games. Ah, okay, so is that like a, I'm guessing that would be like, some kind of donation? I haven't really looked into that. I'm not sort of looking at. Yeah, I haven't even really thought about trying to set that up or anything. But yeah, Garrett, how's it going? I imagine a lot of people are actually at PAX East today. Alright, so that's got 1, 2, 3.5. Alright, well, I think this is good. So we've got something like... Yes, everything is done by hand, so which is kind of what I'm doing now. You can see, so we're gonna do like stepwell row. So and the idea here is that I just simply take. Okay, so that's obviously a little too much. That's 12, so what we wanted, so this is going to be 12, right? Oh man, that's awesome. Yeah, this weekend, I am gonna try to get some sleep, and yeah, the thing is, I'm going to start looking at the code base, right? And with programming, I find if I don't get enough sleep, I just can't do it. Like, I end up getting distracted. So I want to make sure that you know, when I look at the code base, I want to be super focused. Like, I think with programming, I don't know if that's the case for anybody here. Like with level design, I can do it all day. Like, I'll put on some music and you know, make a big pot of coffee, and then I'm like, I'm ready to go, and I just kind of get into this like flow state. But with programming, I can't really do that. Oh, really? Okay, so Ultimate Haran is a totally different type. Yeah. Like, I have to be super focused. Otherwise I just end up being distracted. I mean, like, I feel like once I'm kind of in like the in the middle of the code, then it's good, and you're like, okay, if I do this and this that and that happens. But I just find if I'm tired, I'll end up not thinking of the right solution right away and getting frustrated, or I'll just write a super buggy code, and then the next day you look at it and you're like, what was I thinking? Okay, yeah, I think Captain Finn, we're pretty similar. I love coding at night. Actually, my favorite time to code is on Friday night. I don't do that anymore because I am trying to like hang out with friends. But the thing with Friday night and Saturday night coding is you don't have any pressure, right? And then you're like, you're relaxed, and I suppose it's not really a surprise, but you work better when you're relaxed. Now, which direction do I have to go from here? What do you mean by direction? Hey, love comes in spurts. What is up? Welcome to the stream. Nitty gritty in the morning. Like, it's sort of like the write drunk, edit sober thing, except for programming. Ah, come on! I'm over rotating this thing. Okay, got them all lined up correctly. Don't check in code after midnight. that is something that I should just have in front of my computer. That's actually really, that's a good, that, you know what, that is a good life policy to stick with. Oh yeah, yes, I do. There's a train line right behind me. Yeah, it's the train, I don't even hear it anymore. I don't hear the laughter anymore. Alright, what's that, depends on if you're working on a team. I try not to check in crap if I am, if only because it's kind of embarrassing. Yeah, I do. Well, thing is, when I'm working with people, I tend to encourage them checking stuff in as long as it doesn't break stuff. Well, because for a lot of the stuff I have to review it, and it helps me review it early, so they're not like going down the wrong direction. Yep, that's it. Alright, let's move this over. So, anybody have any interesting plans for the weekend? think for me, I'm probably just going to be doing some more. So I have to submit a build to Sony by Monday. And fortunately, a lot of the tech stuff has been resolved. So it's mostly just level design tweaks. So I'm going to be, playtesting. Well, not actual playtesting. I'm going to be running through the build multiple times. Again, that's also something I can't do late at night anymore. I try to do that, and then I ended up falling asleep and got ankle over my couch. Why am I using Unity? Well, I started using this 3.5 years ago, and at the time, this was November 2012. I mean, Unity was pretty much the only option available. Can I test it, please? Give me a second. Fake. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Would you say that you couldn't have created this game? No, I could have created it with without ProBuilder, but it would have been very, very, very painful. I would probably have had to build everything in an external program and not inside Unity, just the way. Yeah, I would not have been able to do it just using Unity's default, like not the kind of flexibility. ProBuilder really is great. If making game, keep making game. Alright, let's go ahead and test this now. So stepwell bottom, new. Fake. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, 1, 3, 1, 2. How? I guess you are like Robert there. How do you remember your usernames? Okay, let's enable top. Right, so the interesting thing with this is that it spreads out a lot. It goes downhill a lot slower. Let's see. Let's see how this goes. But WE, the C# programmers really can't make 3D and FPS or third person. Does Unity give you full social? No, they do not. Yeah, you should definitely use ProGrids because it does the snapping. I think it'd be very, very difficult to use. In a way, ProGrids is almost more essential than ProBuilder. Because without the snapping, you're going to get like... I mean, Unity has it, but I think ProBuilders works a lot nicer. And without it, you're just going to get like Z-fighting all the time. And it's you're new to Twitch. It's in a game jam where people are streaming games and don't really care. Robert was taken. Yeah, it just... yeah, no worries. It's just the I mean, yeah. It's not. I'm not actually complaining. What the hell? Yeah. So like, okay, you actually can't really. Yeah, I don't think it actually makes a difference. You can't. I think you get the same impact. What is it? Oh, so this is the stepwell level, but yeah, I think it's totally fine. Unreal gives you source for making an account linking with GitHub. If you need users to send, I think your game. Do you guys know? Do you guys know the game Dust Force? So, Dust Force, the 2D platform, it came out a few years ago. But that team, Hitbox, is currently working on this new game, Spire, and they are using Unity. But what they're doing is super interesting. At this point they're basically only using Unity because it's got the cross-platform stuff. And Lexi Dostal, cool. I don't see any horrible language. But Lexi Dostal, he's basically written his own lighting system. So they've just got a ton of their own stuff, but is sort of using Unity as a way to connect everything. So, you know, I guess all that is to say, just because you're using Unity, that doesn't mean you can't be more advanced. You can't last night I made a. Never mind. Oh, come on. Why is this still massive? It's the steps. Do I have to download it? I don't think I'm going to download anything right now. Come on. This is the... I think it's the steps that we have. There's just... I don't want to download stuff right now, because I'm working on the game, but yeah, you gotta get some pictures. But yesterday I posted "Believe in yourself," and then Martin wrote back, "I'd rather believe in someone who knows what they're talking about." Oh, come on. So I just want to take this and duplicate it, and when I live okay. Yeah, I mean, I think there's some parts where knowing source would be nice. That tends to get more important sort of the further you are into your project. Sort of like towards the end when you want to do some serious optimization, sometimes knowing source is helpful. Does it? I don't know if it does, but I'm trying to. I think it's just the number of steps I have, which is. This isn't really helping, unfortunately. Oh my god. I just thought of another way I can make this more efficient. Okay, so... Hey, Ed Riofer, what is up? Are you playing a Steven Sausage Roll? So I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. No, it's gonna reduce it by half. Oh, come on. Hey, the AVX, so give me just a moment, and I'm gonna jump into the code. Well, we'll play the game, but I'll try to explain. So, where's my picture of the stepwell? So, we are this game, Manifold Garden. There's information kind of below, but you know, currently I'm making a level based on Indian stepwells, sort of except repeated out to infinity. Why not use PB steps instead of individual ones? Because I need box colliders. Hey, fake. I'm glad you're excited about the game. I think that the problem is a lot of us are not. You know, a lot of people put spam links in the chat, so. I don't think people are gonna download something that they don't know what it is. But yeah, if you do wanna put a link in the chat, you should let us know first. And I don't think, and you rightfully so, you should be careful about clicking on download links. So, hey, what's up, Zeus Monolith? Alright, come on, Unity. Stop freezing. So, if you don't mind, how did I get into contact with Sony? Well, actually, so the way the things happened with Sony was I'd been showing in 2014, I'd showed the game at a... Did someone... Zeus. In 2014, I showed the game at a number of different events, so I was going to all of them. I went to Indicate East. I went to GDC, PAX East, and I think that year I showed at like 14 different events. And, you know, in October I was at Gamer Camp in Toronto, which no longer exists, and I was pretty exhausted. I was like, okay, this is going to be my last show. It was kind of cool because the Indicate East in New York, back in 2014, that was the first game event outside of Chicago that I went to. And now it's kind of cool that next week I'll be going back, but this time showing the game with Sony. And what happened was... so I was like, okay, it was October, Gamer Camp, that was like my 13th show of the year. And... you know, Sony guys were there, and I was like, okay, you know what, I'm done. Like, I can't, I'm gonna take a break from showing, and they were like, okay, I know you just said that, but, you know, we're doing game PlayStation Experience, would you like to be a part of that? And at first I was gonna say no, but they, you know, I came back to Chicago and asked a couple guys, and everyone just agreed it was a really, really great event. It's just such a great opportunity, so I said yes, and then Sony was like, you know, we started talking about the show, the booth, and halfway through that they were like, oh, we forgot we totally have not licensed you yet. So we just got that taken care of. Okay, so do not include back faces. So this is a staircase generator. Okay, so where I realized I can... It is. These staircases go on infinitely, so... Right, so what I'm thinking is here is... So I realized, like, I'm basically creating two sets of steps, right, for every, Alright, fake 123 had a game that he had just linked to, right? So you see we've got 2 sets of steps here. And this I'm actually going to do, and I was realized, you know what, I could just have one connecting through, and then that would get rid of, that would mean I wouldn't have to create 2 versions. And then instead, what we are going to do is we're actually going to take their stairs. So we're going to take the top step from here, and we moved it here. They don't, so the... So the reason for the different coloring, yes. So, well, this is where actually we're realizing that there's a bunch of things I can do to make. Okay, so see, these are prefabs, right? And then I was like, the problem is that because I'm duplicating so many of them, it's causing it. I'm starting to get a problem. It is a puzzle game. Manifold Garden is the game. Okay, you know what? I think we're gonna stop posting that link just so that we keep the conversation on topic, because we got a number of new people in the stream now. So we're gonna keep the conversation about Manifold Garden. So that's not. I'm working on Manifold Garden. We're gonna keep the chat conversation focused on this. So you can see this is one unit, right? But there's a bit of inefficiencies because I realized the way I'm doing this right now is I've actually got like 2 times as many steps as I need, because I can just create one object that extends all the way across, and then I don't need to. Then I can reduce the number of units, the number of boxes in this level by half. Wait, is the portal halfway of the platform thing? We're not worrying about the portal right now. We're just sort of figuring out a way to reduce the redundancies. But the way I create these ones, it generates these ghost steps, right? But since the ghost steps are just on the outside, we can actually... delete these and use this ghost step from this one, which is slightly different. The hierarchy. What's wrong with it? So what we are, okay, so now what I can do is I can go ahead and delete this one. Yes, because that will reduce the number of things that we have to, the number of vertices. I mean, we just reduced the number of vertices by half, right? Which is huge. I mean, that is... There's just so much stuff in the scene. Like every little bit helps. No, because so yes, it would be more efficient to make a mesh collider, but we cannot do that. We have to have box colliders. Otherwise, the water doesn't work. So everything has to be box colliders. The ghost steps here are not box colliders because only the player walks on it, not the box. So, yeah. Yeah, it's really, and we've just like there's a ton of like, so the water means that we have to have box colliders, and then it's also just a lot easier to make changes. So optimization is not just necessarily a code optimization, right? It's like pipeline workflow, all that. But yeah, so like in this case right now, what we've done is we've reduced the vertex count by half, and that's significant, right? And that's also significant because this means that when I go to, did you see how much faster that was? Did you guys see that? There is sort of there's some it's very restricted. If you it's more like if you play Portal 2, it's sort of like the water, not the water, the light bridge in Portal 2 with that looked way faster. So right, so see, that's like that alone is a reason to look at how fast I'm enabling and disabling this. That alone is a reason to optimize. What? Hey, red bulbs. Well, I think I changed. I go by William now because I am getting older. Right, so that's like, so the reason why you wanna, yeah, maybe it doesn't add that much to the performance at runtime, but I did change the channel, but anyway, welcome back, Red Bulbs. Good to see you. We are now on the front page of the creative channel, so we're in the big leagues now. Zeus Monolith. Hey, Ye Glide, what is up? You missed what? Oh, nice. Okay, so duplicating this object apparently still causes some problems. But still, I think it's overall just a lot faster. So, you know, we're going to go with top, new. Yeah, we got a lot of big changes, Red Bull. We actually have portals working, so that's connecting worlds now. Really exciting stuff. Vertex snapping. So if you hit V, you can vertex snap and it just goes to another one. It's so great. Okay, so Fake, we trust you. It's just the internet is a dangerous place. Believe me, it is not personal. It is but one should just always be careful. We've had people you know, fish yeah. Yes. Vertex snapping. That's no, that's actually Unity. And you should use it. It is awesome. No. I think you I think, you know, if you learn to write your own engine though, that is such a good learning experience. I'm not saying to write your own engine if you want to make a game, right? I'm saying if you write your own engine, that's going to teach you a lot of stuff. And even if you do end up using Unity or Unreal, that you're going to, you know, you'll be able to use it on a whole other level. Your game won't feel like, won't play like, and won't look like kind of all the games. Like, people aren't going to look at your game and say, oh, this looks like a Unity game, because you're not going to have those problems. So So you're Turkish? Ed Riofer, let's be nice. Um, yes. Ed Riofer, construct try to provide constructive feedback. You wanna you know tell people where places where they can improve and sort of where you find issues with it. All right, yeah, these are, so we're gonna go back and we're gonna take a look at this, and then we're gonna set up the roll wrapping positions to be correct. But yeah, it took a long time. Like, I think it took a long time, but definitely understanding how shaders work. Look at that. Look at how long bottom and top is taking. It's taking for me to just disable them. Like, Unity is frozen at the moment. But yeah, guys, check out Lexi Dostal. He's working on that game Spire, and he's on a punch list. So he's actually, for example, one example is the way Unity does the mouse input is actually a little bit off, and he had to actually hijack that and rewrite it himself, because Spire is a multiplayer online game, and you need everyone's input to be synced up correctly, and like the way Unity does it by default is actually kind of wrong. It's fine if you're doing a local game, but if you start doing multiplayer, you need everyone to be on the same page. So it's like, that's the kind of stuff, if you're just used to taking whatever the engine gives you, you kind of get some problems there. But if you've had to roll that out on your own, then you at least have some familiarity with what's going on. I saw a game recently that, hey, son of G-Days, what is up? Man, so many people still call me Willie. I just feel like I'm too old for that. Saw a game recently that emulated the PS1 by intentionally using messed up quad texturing. Hard to do something like that without writing your own engine. Yeah, alright, there we go. Fuck. Son of G-Days, hasn't seen you here in a while. Did you know we've been on the front page of the creative channel? Which has been very, very exciting. Alright, we're going to hit play now. Actual box collider. Steps for staircase. I prefer using a slanted box collider. Okay, no, so let me explain a bit about the boxes, right? So these are the steps are made up of two sets of box colliders. So here is these are the steps that you see, but you do not actually walk on it. However, we do not make this part of mesh collider. We use box colliders because the water needs to go on it. This is a mesh collider, but the reason why we use the little steps and not the slopes is because of the corner section. So like we have thought of the slanted. That's like what most first-person games use, but there are problems associated with it. Just in this case, because you can change gravity around and all that. Hey, subpotent foil for making on this game Manifold Garden. It's a first-person puzzle game coming to PlayStation 4. Oh, I guess Nightbot just came in and answered some questions, but we're currently doing level design. So now we're going to jump in, and I think so. Optimization for the game is one part, it's code, but it's also geometry and then some design. How's finding another person for the programming gone? No, I haven't found anyone yet. I mean, I'm sort of just starting to respond to people's emails and just starting to try to set up interviews. It's going slow. I haven't had too much time to focus on it because most of it has been trying to get the game built for Indicate East. But it's definitely a learning experience. I went to actually Young Horses. They're the guys that made Octodad. They're based in Chicago, and they've been looking for an environment artist. And I went up to talk to them about their process, and that was very informative. It's obviously very there was a bug, so that's causing the preventing it from. So I Xbox Live random username thing. Oh, okay. I did not know that. Do they assign a random username if you're looking at Twitch from Xbox? I worked on the game alone for about 2.5 years, and last year I brought on a programmer to help me. I am back to being on my own now. I'm currently looking for another programmer. I know a lot of people that just roll with the name. Oh, Xbox generates them. It was generated when you signed up for MySpace. Actually, people probably joke about when you sign up for Facebook. Not so much a shader programmer. It's more gameplay. Oh, so what was I talking about? Oh, right. So I was talking to Young Horses about their hiring process, but theirs is a little different, right? Like they're basically looking for an environment artist to join the family, right? So it's like they're looking to get married, basically. So the concerns there are very, very different. All right, so this is we got the spacing is a little bit off. I don't know. I think it's actually just as good as the dense one, but I like. Yeah, the spacing is There's the gap. Subspace continuum. No idea what that is. I think that's like the social media thing before MySpace. Alright, so what's really cool is we have this World Wrap Manager, which lets me play with that. So, hold on. This is actually kind of cool. We have this tool, Manifold Garden, Scene. Okay, what is it? Scene. Miscellaneous. Okay, so this set up will wrap boundaries, will wrap bounds for hierarchy. Oh, please don't break. Oh, fuck. I think that might have been an older tool which now breaks the game. Not fine. Well, everybody makes typos, so oh come on, I think we're gonna have to. So that was a tool that what it did was it like made the world wrap boundaries fit the tool, but I think it actually fit the space, fit the geometry, but I think it's actually broken. So which means let me give it like another minute, and if it doesn't yeah, if it doesn't fix, then we're gonna have to quit Unity. All right. Yeah, that tool is broken. Ay. It's a tool that just like collapses the roll wrap distance to exactly. That's. I think we have to have the game crash at least once per stream. Am I making the game with it? Zeus Monolith. Yeah. Oh, yeah, this is dumb. I could have just clicked on this and figured out. This is like this is 216 units, so that would mean that the where I measure that has to be 216. It just takes breaks suddenly. It just takes involuntary breaks. If you're making infinite stairs, you're obligated to use a shepherd. Oh, you know, the thing is, the shepherd tone is actually really annoying to listen to. Okay, come on. I guess changing the position of it is still pretty tedious. So one of the things I want to do is make sure that this is right, and it just helps to have everything properly aligned. We might have to redo this part. I should have done it earlier. I wish there was. This is the one thing I wish Unity had a. Hey, Fur Trapper, welcome back. Can I just fake internet stairs once you reach the edges? That is sort of what we're doing. I don't think you're overhyping at all, son of G-Dace. Yeah, you don't want to do that. So I mean, I am doing it here because I'm being kind of lazy, but why would I need anything else? Sorry, what's the question? I'm not. It's being overhyped for what it is? No way. Yes, Steam and PS4. There is no such thing as overhype. People say, like I've seen some indies complain about how No Man's Sky is being overhyped, and I'm like, dude, there is no such thing. You cannot have a game be overhyped. There's just hype, and then there's people not knowing about your game and not making any sales, right? You know what? I'm really happy for the No Man's Sky guys, but it's crazy. Their game is selling better in pre-orders than most indie games do once it comes out, right? But good for them. And how small their team is. I think it's like 8 people. The Peter Molyneux. It's just a really, really, really big RNG. What's RNG? Interesting. Interesting. People have very different opinions about No Man's Sky here. Huh. I like it because I think it's cool that there's oh fuck. Wait, what is this? How are we talking about Monument Valley? Okay, that was the wrong. I'm gonna have to undo a bunch of things. Ah, this is it. It's because see this is at 18.8, and that's because I'm not using ProGrids. So this is a tool I'm going to need eventually. The way it lines up is not... What the fuck? What's this? No Man's Sky is 10 gigabytes, so that means at least 5 gigabytes is assets for the RNG to use. All right. Okay, here we go. That's... We have this now. We're going to move this down here. Let's make it minus 30. And we're going to delete this one. And now we're going to duplicate this one. When did Spore come out? You know who worked on Spore? Chris Hecker. He's the guy that's working on Spy Party, which has been in development for quite a long time now. Two 2007. Oh yeah, this kind. This is a VR game. Right, so this is 12. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, is this? Yeah, no, that's 20. Let's see, 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 20 by 12, that's at 240. So we are going to make it 200, and I think the Z direction needs to be 240. Yeah. And then let's see here, so that's correct. So I think the part that needs to get worked here is, let's do 350. I like having, right, and this one, this needs to get moved up. One of the beauties of Unity that I love is the ability to make a thing for one purpose and then reuse parts of it for another. Yeah, I thought it was a witness as well. Well, you know, I think the one part for No Man's Sky that they haven't shared is the whole like thing at the center of the universe, right? I think there's going to be a lot of they probably have something really cool there that they've just been holding back. Alright, moment of truth. Let's test it. Let's take a look at what this looks like. Most of the houses look the same. Neighborhood is using instancy. Procedural generated neighborhood. Oh, interesting. Okay, it sounds like Zeus Monolith has been following the game, following No Man's Sky a lot more. You know, I actually met those guys, and they're familiar with Manifold Garden. I met them at E3 last year, and they were like, "Hey, your game is really cool." Dude, okay, people, can you know, some people see my tweet about looking for a programmer, and then they DM me, and it's like, please send me an email. And it's not that I don't like getting DMs on Twitter, it's just that it makes it a lot harder to keep track of everything coming in. Why is that wind strip a lot lighter? Alright, let's see what's happening. Alright, so here's the kind of cool thing is we can actually go inside. We'll not maximize on play. And I'm actually going to drag the game window out so I don't have to look at it, but... Okay, let's see, where is our World Wrap Manager? So yeah, this is actually... Oh, you know what? You guys should see this too. Watch. So... but, like, you see I can actually... well, now when I'm going to unpause it, but you can actually see me make these changes. Unpause! And you can kind of see here how this is affecting the game, how the game looks. By the way, if you are new and you're enjoying the stream, you should definitely follow the channel. Looks like it should be 96. I'm sure there's some math explaining why that is, but I'm too lazy to figure it out. Well, they were just like, hey, I heard you're looking for help, and I'm like, it's in the job post exactly what I'm looking for. Well, I am no man. Alright. I wish, though, I wish the No Man's Sky team would stream. I would totally watch that. Alright, so see, this should be 96, so that's... I'm not quite sure, I think... Why is that the math? Oh, you know what it is? It's because it's not... We're really looking at the distance between these two, right? To stagger, so it's not that, but yeah, let's hit play and we'll go into... Why did I make such... So there is... You do have your basic distance, right? You don't actually want to duplicate... How do I say this? Let's say I duplicate this room. It's not a very big room, but it means like I can see myself. I'd be close enough to see myself, I'd be like 20 feet away and I can see myself, and I don't actually want that, right? I want the distance between instances to still be pretty big. Right, if these two are the same, right? There's a difference between. Hey, that cool game player. Let's hit play. I am just missing dinosaurs and crafting. Hey, you know what? I think this is not bad. I think it's still... What do you guys think? For those of you that have been seeing it. I don't really... with it farther, you can't quite see down as much, but... I don't know, I feel like I'm still getting the impact. I could make the drop... I could make it a little, if I made these steps 4 units wide instead of 8, I can, no, if I had moving blocks, I would see the repetitions a lot, this is not a Minecraft remake. This is a game, it's called Manifold Garden. It's a first-person exploration puzzle game with, where you can change gravity and solve puzzles. So it's a puzzle game. Welcome to the chat, by the way, that cool game player. Haven't I built this level before? Yeah, no, what we did was we made it more efficient by making these pieces a little bit bigger, so there's less units. There's a lot less. We basically half the vertices being repeated. That feeling of descending quickly from step to step is gone now. It's the steps. What's the achievement for reaching the bottom anyway? How do I make the block seamless with the edge detection? I'm not too sure what you mean by that. So I feel like I can, you know what? You know what I think it is that it's this part. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I was talking to Jonathan Blow about it, actually. I was talking to him about the edges. And he was like, your game is very difficult to anti-alias. So let's do 16. Yeah, right. I think what it is that we're doing it. Oops, no, that's I'm in 10 4. It's 10 6. We're going to extend the left and the right. We're not going to include back faces. So, cold morning, cold. This looks spectacular. It's worth playing more with how close the two planes are. Is that something to? I have not. No. It is still a work in progress, right? So one of the things that we're talking about right now, and just so who was it? Was it Praetorian that right? So Praetorian talks about it. It's that. The width of the steps, because we've made it a lot wider, the slope isn't as steep, and I think it's a little not as interesting. I'm gonna make it just a little bit shorter. I mean, we've already done a lot of techniques to like, yeah. I mean, the vertex count is I think we've reduced it by more than 50%. With the way we're building things more efficiently, so I think it's giving me some room that I can expand out into. Okay, so the reason why I have the flat area, it is it's right. So you're not quite seeing like as far down as I think I would like, but the reason why the flat area has to be of a certain thickness is because of the step button. How many of these worlds? About 40. Hey, Zeus Monolith. I will see you around. Have fun with whatever you're working on. I wish you all the best. And thanks for stopping by today. Okay, so here's the problem. Is that it needs to fit... These all have like a pretty standard... I need it wide enough that I can have this door on the inside, basically. It can be a little bit shorter, so we're going to do that actually. Let's go ahead and we'll take out these. Hold on. So this needs to actually get turned around. There we go. Okay, then what we're going to do is we're going to delete the ghost steps because I don't actually like the way these are done. And going to create 16. Number of steps is 16. So we don't need the visual mesh, we just need this ghost step. Wait, that needs to be, that's actually the unit, that's 16, unit width is 6. We don't need the ghost, we don't need the visual mesh. Okay, actually let's go ahead and delete these other pieces that we don't need anymore. Vertex snap it. Perfect. So the other actually problem is that I'm working with it with the whole thing on the side, and it's actually the camera controls like I can't turn left on here. Like I can't rotate left because the camera doesn't adjust. It's a really weird. I don't know exactly how to describe it. Except that the camera is like totally janky for me. Do we have 16 steps here? Actually, that just needed to be width back 15, 6, no visual mesh, and we're gonna go ahead and. How does the game work? Give me just a second. My mouse is. We're gonna hit play in just a bit. No, you explore and you solve puzzles. I'm not showing too much of the puzzle stuff here, obviously, because I don't want to spoil that. But yeah, it's a combination of solving puzzles, exploring. I describe the game as a metaphor for the last 400 years of physics. So, physics, we have, Newton, kind of discovered the rules for kind of kinematics and gravity, how physics behaves in everyday life. And then Einstein, kind of took that to about the physics of very large objects dealing with space-time warping. And so you start off learning how gravity works in this game, and then by the end of it, you are trying to figure out the shape of the universe. All right, so that's we're gonna delete. So that's the whole apply. So we have puzzle solving. Yes. No. So I am going to make the yellow surface a bit more narrow, right? But we can make the surface a bit more narrow if we also have the steps a little more narrow. Oh, so hello, HVNTS. Welcome. Hey, would it be possible to make this level simpler to iterate upon by just working on one platform stair at a time and having other platform stairs inherit the proportions and attributes? Not, yeah, it doesn't really do that. I think the way you're supposed to do it is to use Unity's prefab stuff. There are problems because Unity doesn't let you do instanced nested prefabs, which is just the worst. Like I could probably write a tool, but I don't think it's worth it just for this level. So it's not so much the iterating that's tedious, right? It's the fact that like applying these changes for all of them is taking a while. Like to apply changes to this prefab is taking quite some time. But I think 6 units is a good distance for the steps. So is nobody here in the chat going to be at PAX East? Does prefab utility class, is that right? So it's like I gotta do this stuff for the half unit too. Right, so we're just making everything shorter. Man, by the way, I just want to say a huge thanks to everybody for watching the stream, for hanging out. It's, man, being indie dev, it's tough, but I really, the support means a lot to me. Yeah, it's been a very, very long journey, but I think, you know, for a long time, especially I think during the first year of development, I didn't know what I was doing, so it didn't really matter. Like, the first year of development, you just kept thinking you were a month away from releasing. But definitely the second year, it's like there's no end in sight. But I feel like now I see the light at the end of the tunnel. I could scale it. I don't like it because it like fucks up the way ProBuilder does things. So I don't scale it. But yeah. Well, but they have hey Wyatt. But they have there are quite a few in Europe. Like there's a maze. I don't know. I would imagine traveling from Netherlands to Berlin is not too bad. I've been to Europe a few times, not that many times, but so unfortunately I do have to then delete all of these. Yes. Alright, let's get rid of this. So, the reason why I do need this to have like a certain distance is this thing needs to fit. So there's sort of like a bunch of concerns you always kind of gotta keep in mind with these. Man, I honestly can't believe Twitch puts me on the front page of Creative on a regular basis. That's so, man, super thankful for that. So for me, the thing with these conventions is, so like 2014, I did a lot of them. But like PAX East, PAX Prime, if you show like with the Indie Mega booth, it's incredibly expensive. So if you do the Indie Mini booth, that's the way I did it that year. I did it super cheap. I stayed with a friend. I got these really cheap tickets, and I was so I did the Indie Mini booth, and that was about like $300-400 a day. Good to see. Welcome. I got thank you, Terrible Bad. So that year it cost me, I think I did the whole thing in like $2,000. Right, so it's $500 a day to show in the Indie Mini booth. So you only have one computer and you're part of this section. And you know, it was a really great experience. I learned a lot. It was my first time showing at a PAX East. And the Indie Mini booth, Indie Mega booth, you were wonderful. So like, it's definitely something to consider. But the thing is, the cost, right? So the whole trip cost me about $2,000, and I went to Tokyo Game Show. The booth was free. Sony sponsored it, so I got a flight to Japan and hostel, and it ended up being around the same amount of money. Because you know, like it was $1,500 in booth costs, and the thing is, if you do the main booth, so if you do like a 10x10 booth at PAX, then you're looking at about $3,000. At PAX Prime, it's a 4-day event, so it's probably a little more. You'd have to get hotel for, well, you'd have to get it for 5 days at least, because you want to be there the day before to set up. You'll probably want to stay, well, no. So like, I do think showing at conventions and conferences is very useful, but I think there's also a lot of opportunities to do it without paying booth costs. So like now I have a good relationship with Sony, and we've got a really good build. You know, the first level runs at 60 frames per second, which is crazy. And they just show the game for us. And when Sony shows a game for you, it is amazing. You send them a build, you show up, they've got the TV, they've got PlayStation 4, like it all looks good. I mean, you can't have your own banner at those events, except for PSX. Even for PSX, they still provide the computer, the TV, and the test kits, and you've got a booth. But for a lot of times, like at Indie East, I don't think there's like a space for me to do a banner, and it's just a Sony area. But even then, like you just show up, and you've got this amazing setup. Right, so like, I'm going to Indie East at the end of the month. I'm staying with a friend there. Well, actually, I haven't met him, but Matt Donatelli. He's a indie dev based in New York. But you know, I got flight for 125, so it's like you can show the game for really cheap. Anyway, all that is to say that. Okay, so back to showing your game. You do mini booth, and the issue is you spend, so let's say you're there 8 hours a day, right? You spend like several $1,000s to get out there, and you're standing all day. And if you think about how many people can play your game, so only one person can play your game at a time. Who is Lyric? I don't know who that is. Terrible Badex. So, right, okay, let's say everybody spends 10 minutes on your game, which is fairly short, and you're talking to all these people. In an hour, maybe 6 people get to play your game and talk to you about it. So 6 times 8, 48. But then you stream on Twitch, and right now there's 115 people. Like I think there's a lot of like consensus on, okay, if you have a game, this is what you should do. You should show it at PAX East, and I think if you have to like think about the reasons why. I'm not saying it's not worth it. I'm just saying if the only reason you're doing that is because everybody else is doing it, then you have to rethink that. Because I don't think there's definitely not a whole lot of developers streaming game development. And yet, for me, it's been one of the most positive aspects of development. Like, you know, I'm working alone on the game now, and it's hard for me to get feedback, and can also be very isolating working from home. But Twitch has a community, which is kind of cool. I have never heard of I have never heard of Lyric. Please educate me. Is that not enough game? I am still fairly new to Twitch, so that is it just twitch.tv/Lyric? Well, you know, one of you guys will have to tell Lyric to play the game, but that's cool. Like, see, I'm still, this is all still super new to me. Oh, I see he's been playing Dark Souls. Holy shit, he's got 1.3 million followers. Oh yeah. But you know, the thing is, so I don't like watching those streams because they have like, it's so hard to talk to them in their chat. Like, you know, you go to their chat and it's just this like constant flow of stuff. How do you guys do it? Like, for those, I prefer watching streams where it's like, you know, around 100, or fewer, just because then you can actually have conversations going and follow what's happening. Firehose chat. Wow, lots of Lyric supporters. That's cool. I'm gonna start. Oh, he has only sub mode in chat. Oh, sick. Okay. And just joining the chants you like. Man, it's so funny. So like, it's funny that there's a lot of like Twitch etiquette. Like yesterday we did this raid on this other game dev streamer, a friend of mine, but I don't think she know what a raid is, and so she just like, I think she just didn't know what was going on, and so ignored it. But yeah, I will check out some of Lyric's streams, man. He's the most popular streamer on Twitch. Really cool dude. Okay. All right. Yeah. So there's not a lot of there is definitely not a lot of game developers streaming, and I think what happens is because like a lot of them think they can't work while they're doing it. But personally, I find that I'm way more focused when I'm doing it because I can't, like, well, everybody's watching, so I'm not gonna go, you know, goof around, and talking about it actually really helps me. But also so it's like a lot of people have these misconceptions. They think they'll be distracted, when in fact, I think you're a lot more focused. And people are like, oh, you know, I don't want to spoil the game, but there's so much about the game that you can work on without spoiling things. Do I have to? No, you don't. I would actually not. Unity has a few. You know, I don't know if it's still an asset, but there was one asset that was like 5 simple games. You know, and one game was like 2D game with things falling down and you had to catch it. And that one was really great because you can just look at their source code and figure out how they set up things, how they set up the structure. And if you take a look at that, then it becomes super clear. You're like, oh, I see. This is what's going on. So I would do that. I think finding a project, and being able to look at code. That's kind of how I learned shaders as well. So no, you don't have to buy anything to program Unity 3D. It's free. There's a ton of resources. You do. The thing is, the stuff gets outdated kind of quickly. So just keep that in mind, I suppose. You know, when they switched to Unity 5, a lot of stuff got deprecated. For if you're interested in shaders, this chat is a great place. So like, I guess this stream is an example of a good of a of a resource, right? There's people here you can talk to them. Like I started streaming and then I learned about vertex snapping, which I use all the time now, and which is awesome. So 2.5 years in, I learned about vertex snapping. Hey, Meta X Draco, what is up? What's yes, no? It's... yeah, the Amazon. Oh, really? The asset store is actually really amazing. You know who loves the asset store? Andy Sum. He made Crossy Road, and he talks about the asset store is really great because if you want to prototype something, just go and get a bunch of stuff and fool around, right? Like, you don't want to, obviously you don't want to use that stuff for your final product because otherwise your game is going to look like you know, your game is going to look like you bought your assets off the asset store. But yeah, anyway, so not a lot of devs stream, but okay, so the other thing is a lot of devs think they're going to get distracted. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. But then also they'll stream like once and be like, okay, well, I only got 2 viewers, so that's not worth it. But you just have to do it consistently for a long time. And I mean, I've been streaming for not quite a year, I think like 10 months now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And it wasn't until recently that we started getting, you know, over 100 viewers each time. And I think that only, well, you know, that's because like Twitch put it on the front page of the creative channel. But even then, it's like, why would they put you? They're not gonna put you on the creative channel. Like they must have seen that I've been streaming regularly, and like they probably watched some of my old streams and was like, okay, yeah, he's you know, doing something cool. Maybe I don't know, or maybe it was just totally random. But I like to think. Anyway, it's something that you have to do for a while, so you can't. Yeah, hey, Slick Entertainment! Guys, this is, hey, we were just talking about dev streaming, and Slick is, I'm not sure if it's Nick or Jesse, but, thank you so much. I think I actually got on the front page of the creative channel because of Slick, but they're sort of like my model for how to do, game dev streaming. They're working on Viking Squad, and I think every Wednesday they're on the front page for 2 hours. And Jesse just like draws and is absolutely intense. His energy level is like mine times 200, and he keeps that up for. Oh, Nick, yes. So yeah, they're But yeah, basically Slick is the kind of the yeah, I was just kind of talking about how with streaming it's something you have to do consistently before you kind of the benefits of it start to show. Yes, definitely follow Slick Entertainment. When Jesse's streaming, they get that follower train going. Have you guys announced what the date for Viking Squad releases? But coding most of the time. You know, the thing is, I think you'd be surprised about yeah, lots of people watch Jay Blow program. 16, 14, 224. Hey, Slick Entertainment, Nick, are you guys gonna be at TwitchCon this year? I need to buy my ticket. Yes, PS4 cert. Oh man, yeah, multiplayer. Yeah, TwitchCon was actually one of the most eye-opening experiences for me. I feel like there's just so much. I think that's actually, I think maybe where we met, or was it? No, I think no. Never mind. I think we met at PSX. Yeah. I met Jesse at TwitchCon, but I think Nick, I met you at PSX. All right, let's check this out. I'm still working on Manifold Garden. Slick Entertainment is working on Viking Squad. But yeah, I thought they were like. I remember going to TwitchCon because everybody in game dev is like talking about how Twitch is big and nobody reads websites anymore. But then but I think everybody just thinks, okay, when you email the press, you have to email Twitch streamers as well. And I think Twitch seems more like people hanging out and not. It's not quite like getting people to talk about. It's not like you just want some website to write an article once, right? I don't think that's quite how Twitch works. And also, I was talking to some streamers, and it's like, well, some of them only play Nuclear Throne, so they're not gonna talk about Manifold Garden. All right, let's figure out how to get the that spacing correctly. Don't maximize. So we were close. Let's look at the roll wrap. Oh right, so this needs to. I need to unpause it. It's 100. Let's see here. That should be. I think it's 102. Yeah. Oh yeah. This is the. They're just playing Nuclear Throne so they can switch to. So what is the gameplay element? That's actually, you've come at a good time. So you know what? I think I like this a lot better. I don't know if Praetorian is still. Yeah. All right. So right, I think this fixes the issue Praetorian was talking about. That like having these steps kind of continue. So the core mechanic, if you've seen Inception, you have the ability. Let me, for those of you that maybe haven't, talk about it. Inception, Paris folding scene. But this is where I got the idea for the game. You can see them. Where are they? Right, so they fold the city in half. And you see here, they start changing gravity. And that's really how it works. And I was like, well, you know, I was kind of hoping that they would start grabbing things like, you see that car, like if he drops his wallet, does it fall that direction or this direction? And I was... Like, I thought, I thought that was a really interesting mechanic to explore, and I kind of wish they did that in the film. But, yes, I saw I was not interested in Doctor Strange until I saw that, and I'm definitely going to see that in theaters. Hey, okay, we have there are some bugs with all right, hey, Robber, thank you for stopping by. Thanks for checking out, and for those of you, if you like the stream, you should definitely follow Rob the Swan. I have not seen. I don't know who Rob the Swan is. Can you just put his link in the chat? The Garden was a yes. Garden is a real. Yeah, there are some pretty funny ones. I think it looks better too. We're getting a bit of oh man, holy cow! Thanks for hosting, Slick. Okay, let's see this. We're gonna jump down. Continue. There's like a bug somewhere with the way we're doing our roll wrapping, but anyway, so this has this ability to change gravity. Let's jump back into this. Rob the Swan. I will check it out. So is it a Minecraft game that is it a Minecraft mod? Oh, cool. So it's a voxel game. Where any wall you drive up becomes a floor. Yeah, there's a lot of problems that come with it. A lot of, not so much problems, but just challenges. So gravity changing is the base mechanic, and then there's also with world wrapping. And if you guys are interested, I've got a GDC talk that talks about level design with impossible geometry. It is a voxel-based game. Okay. Yeah, so... Oh, right, we forgot to put 102 as the world wrapping. Gravity changing is one of them. Okay, so it's not, for this game you have not just gravity changing, but the fact that the world wraps around. So the game actually used to be called Relativity when it was only focused on gravity changing, and now it's more about... Manifold has to do with the kind of the topology of the space. But we're gonna set this up, and then we're gonna connect a portal into here and out into another world. Okay, it's gonna take a second. Oh, he's working worlds that wrap around too? Okay. Wow, it sounds like sounds like I've got some competition. Does Rob the Swan have a name for his game? Diorama. Okay, yeah, I'll definitely check it out. Thanks for the heads up, Flint Steel 7. Yeah, so this game... Right, so the world wraps on it, you can do something like jumping off, falling. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and actually add the portal in here. Okay, let's take the world wrap. Let's collapse this. So, okay, so this is going to be a orange gravity, orange portal. Okay, we will choose Yeah, so this is where camera rotation gets very, very painful for me. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll choose this one. And we are actually going to go ahead and delete this. No, I was totally kidding about the competition. But yeah, thank you for the heads up. I'm definitely going to check it out. Oh, so like it's not like, you know, a lot of the ideas in this game I've taken from other games too. So I don't want to make it sound like I'm totally original or anything. And I think even with games that have the same idea, they end up, the implementation always ends up being weird. Okay, so this is actually another tool that I've written. I have posted the script online. It's called Disconnect from Prefab. But it basically, what it does is it removes it so I cannot make changes. Like I take away the apply button. So you can't do stuff and then accidentally make changes back to the prefab. Yeah, I mean, I saw Rob's game on the site, and it's such a different vibe to, like, you know, scale and we had Steve, Swink, and Albert on the chat the other day talking about. Oh, so here's an idea. Let's see what is this? Oh yeah. I mean, that's clearly they took that from Manifold Garden. Actually, Doctor Strange is simply the Manifold Garden film adaptation. So, right, we're gonna have a portal here. Okay. So this is, we're actually going to say that this is special. What is the objective of the game? So the game is about exploring spaces, solving puzzles, learning physics. It's about uncovering the mystery of the universe, to put it, but yeah. Okay. So, alright, we are now going to color this part a different color. We're just going to choose green. So the colors themselves, by themselves, don't actually mean anything. They just allow me to see that I have different adjacent pieces, so I don't have anything overlapping. Okay, here we go. So let's move this piece in. So what I want to do is I want to create a little tunnel where the player comes out from. So this is okay. Let's color this red. Right. So the player will emerge from this portal. And there, so this little thing tells me which gravity is which face. So I know that this face right now, that's an orange surface. So I will bring in. Hey, any particular reason the steps have different colors on the editor? there's no reason. The reason why it's vertex coloring, so that I can tell which pieces are adjacent. So I do it manually just to make sure that there's no overlapping, so I don't get it like Z fighting. Okay, here we go. This is it does look pretty weird, but after a while you get used to it. Okay, so that's 1.5. So this is Stepwell unique. I guess it doesn't really matter whether this is called, this is Stepwell bottom and that's his Stepwell top. Okay, so renaming things is still taking a while. I think probably some on the back end Unity is changing the way all the hierarchy gets linked together. So the issue with the door right now is that it's actually kind of hard to find it. Okay, my mouse seems to have disappeared. Oh, there we go. Come on. Just renaming objects is taking me forever. There are like 15 colors. I thought there were no. So the reason why the steps are different colors is because I have an editor tool that generates the steps for me, and it's too hard to assign the colors like one at a time. So I basically randomize the values, so they're all random colors with the steps, but. By the way, if any of you are watching the stream and are enjoying it, you should definitely follow the channel. Okay, let's see. Has Unity updated this? Come on. This is too much. Stepwell top. All right, as soon as this loads, we're gonna put the... So we're gonna get the door, we're gonna put the portal in, and then we're gonna start testing and walking through that. Okay, there we go, yes! Oh, thank God. Okay, so... This is, Alright. And we are going to end the stream pretty soon, I think. Maybe in another... Give me another 10 minutes. Alright, let's move this up here. Alright, okay. Wow, this is kind of really hard for me to see. It's like inside of all these objects. But, okay, that's good. So... since we're here, might as well just go ahead and put this up. Hey, Red Garlic, thank you for checking it out. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions about the GDC talk. Yeah, I'm really glad that it's out there, because I can, like, whenever people are wondering what the game is about, I can just send them that. Okay, so we've updated this one, and we're gonna make it so it's... Okay, so what we'll do is we'll delete this. No, you know what? Let's delete this row, and then we'll put row special. So first, what we'll do is we'll move it into step-well top. Vertex snap it, at least to get it close, and then bring it down like that. There we go. So now, okay, but except for this case, what we're going to do is we're going to delete. That's not going to be, instead we're going to have a purple, so that's activator button, gravity 6. And that's going to have its doorway here. Okay, there we go. And now let's go ahead and we can put this portal alright, let's move this. Okay, here we go. So that's, except that should have several 4 units in. All right, so there we go. We've got, I think that gives us a pretty good setup for, okay, let's take a look at this world, and then we're gonna go back to World 001 and then kind of walk our way into here and make sure that the moment that you come out through here is impactful. Oh yeah, I was an installation artist working with balloons for a long time, 4 years. So I've kind of now now I've been working on this game for so long that I think it's starting to finally. Yeah, I used to be known as the balloon guy, and kind of changed this. Yeah, but the game still, I see it very much as, you know, and it's a virtual installation art, except this time instead of just working on the work that goes inside the space, you're also designing the space and the physics of it and the look of it and how people walk through it. Hey, Jacket A, your name's very hard to read. It's like showing up as a very light green. Oh, you've been here for a while, yeah. But yeah, man, thanks for joining the streams and for checking them out. Ah, you know what? Okay, we figured out the problem. So there, you can see there, it's got the right here in front. That is the ordering is off. So we actually need to. Oh. And like this layer is. We messed it up a bit. I gotta move the game scene out of here so that I can make the tweak. So you see that's off, and I think it should be. All right, you can't make the changes with. Oh, you know, that's actually the... hold on a second. Okay, there we go. That's... Come on. Please don't freeze on me now, Unity. Alright. Okay, let's see here. Does that work? Hey, by the way, you know, I kind of want to know if anybody, do you guys know of any puzzle games that are currently in development that you're excited about? Because I haven't, like The Witness, Steven's Sausage Roll, and then I haven't really seen anything else. Why? Bless me. I just kind of want to know what's like. Am I missing something that I should be following? You know, what's going on there? But yeah, I think some games, like in terms of indie games that I see a lot of people excited about, No Man's Sky is at the top of the list. All right, let's check this out. What is the definition of indie? Because in some ways, their team is still super small, right? I mean, it's like they're. I think their team is probably smaller than like Capybara, Double Fine, or Clay, and those there doesn't seem to be any question about whether they're indie or not. But yeah, I don't think it really matters. I guess I just more like not Call of Duty or Dark Souls or Hitman, those kinds of games that people are interested in. Or, I suppose, you know what's a better word is original IP games. Hyper Light Drifter 2016's been kind of, they got some big games coming out. So you can see all the different levels are loading in now in the scene view. It's an indie game making instead of what's based on what's popular. I suppose. I don't know if that's necessarily a definition of indie game. Because you do have to factor in like market, market forces. But that's certainly perhaps the indie spirit. Alright, I think this level is, I quite like it. I think it's good enough to start testing. How are we keeping this optimized? There's a lot. We've spent a lot of time working on it. There's not, both having the making sure that the geometry is done. Oh right, that's not loaded yet. There's is this the new antechamber? I hope that it's its own game, but certainly if you liked antechamber, I think you'd like it. We've been doing optimization now. I mean, it's a combination of not duplicating anything we don't need. It's a combination of building the level geometry to be as efficient as possible, taking advantage of the fact that we don't have any curves, taking advantage of the fact that we don't have any textures. I mean, indie really means a game without a publisher, but then you have indie games, you have indie publishers, right? So you have Devolver Digital, that's an indie publisher. Hey, Zampa86, this is a puzzle game. Yes, puzzle exploration. And welcome to the stream. How is it going? Alright, we're gonna walk through this world once everything gets loaded. You can see they're all kind of getting loaded in here. We load everything up front so that once the game starts, it's all seamless. Okay, so that's all loading out. There we go. Got started. So for those of you that are just new, it's you have the ability to change gravity and walk on different surfaces, and kind of explore architecture. Yeah, 2016 is the plan. I'm aiming for it. It might get don't hold me to it if I miss it. Yeah, I think it has the edge detection shader, which draws a lot of comparisons to Antechamber and sort of a minimalist art style. But Yeah, I think if you like Antechamber, I think you'll like this game. You know, it's definitely of the mind-bending category. Where is my controller? Cool. Alright, so this is like you come down after solving a whole bunch of puzzles. Walk through this. Bam. Alright, I think that is quite a powerful moment. This sort of has its own rules. Yeah, I think so. Right. Well, yeah. You know, follow the stream. I'm on Twitter. There's the website. All the information is below. There's a ton of stuff here. So, I'm just wondering if the door on the other side is clear. Like, is it? Can people see it? Hey, N13P4N. I think it's a lot easier once you actually start playing for yourself, because then you kind of will form a map. Right now, when I'm playing through it, it's not, like, you're not really doing that. Anyway, that is it. So I think we've got, we're in a good spot now. And I am going to take off, so it is now 5:30, so we've been streaming for 2.5 hours. Thank you all for hanging out and checking out the stream today. If you liked it, you should definitely follow. I stream every weekday from 3 p.m., you know, for like an hour and a half, so that's 100 hour. A slight blip. It is supposed to be a slight blip in the repetition, but yeah, it is a solo project. I've had some people, you know, 1 or 2 programmers help me here and there. Last programmer just left. I'm actually looking for a new programmer. So, Manifold Garden. So if you've been working with Unity 3D, C# and you wanna kind of help me finish this game, I'll post the link in the chat. But yeah, I will be back on. Will I be streaming tomorrow? Yes, so tomorrow. I think next Tuesday, I'm not going to be streaming. I have something in the afternoon. But otherwise, I will. Oh man, of course it should be. I should make Nightbot. Good call, Garrett. I'm gonna do that on Nightbot right after this. But right. It's not anyone I know online, so we're not going to do a raid today. But I will see you guys all tomorrow. Thank you all for hanging out.